Hey, I'm Kyo. I just watched Egypt save its independence by ignoring a religious taboo about cats. But how did they get the wealth to stay so powerful? I've jumped back another 100 years to 600 BC. I'm standing on the banks of the greatest construction site in the ancient world. Pharaoh Necho II is digging a massive canal. It's meant to connect the Nile to the Red Sea. In my history, he stopped after 120,000 workers died. An oracle warned him it would only help his enemies. But what if he didn't listen? I've arrived in an alternate timeline where the Canal of the Pharaohs is finished 24 centuries before the modern Suez Canal. I'm seeing Egyptian ships bypass the entire continent of Africa, moving goods from the Indian Ocean directly into the Mediterranean. Egypt hasn't just built a waterway, they've built a monopoly on global trade. The consequences are staggering. In my history, the silk and spice routes were long, dangerous land journeys. But here, Egypt is the world's customs office. Every ounce of gold from Africa, every silk from China, and every spice from India must pass through. Egypt becomes the wealthiest empire in human history, outshining even the peak of Rome, centuries before Rome even exists. The power balance of the world shifts. With this much wealth, Egypt doesn't need to conquer. They simply buy their enemies. I'm seeing a world where the rising powers of Greece and Persia are basically subsidiaries of Egypt. The pharaohs fund Greek arts and Persian armies, keeping them in a state of constant, profitable competition. Egypt isn't just a kingdom, it's a global bank. Trade isn't just about goods, it's about ideas. In this timeline, the ancient wisdom of Egypt, their math, their medicine, their engineering flows into the East and West much faster. I'm seeing a technological boom. With the easy transport of resources, we're seeing the first complex machines and massive stone cities. They're popping up across the globe, all powered by Egyptian innovation. But here's what's fascinating. The culture shifts too. By defying the priests and the sacred animals at Pelusium, the pharaoh has broken the ancient religious law. I'm witnessing an Egypt that is becoming more secular, more militarized. The age of the gods is ending, replaced by an age of iron and innovation. However, I'm discovering something darker. This canal has made Egypt the ultimate target. To protect their gold, the pharaohs have turned the Nile into a military zone. I'm seeing a massive, expensive fleet that patrols the seas. They patrol with iron-fisted authority. The peace of the pharaoh isn't a gift, it's a tax. And there's a cost I didn't expect. The Nile's ecosystem is being strained by constant traffic and massive urban expansion. The sacred river is being used up. It's fueling a global economy that the ancient world wasn't ready to handle. I'm standing in a civilization that has reached its peak too quickly. It has nowhere left to go but down. This unified, unconquered Egypt is arrogant. It refuses to trade or share its secrets. It refuses to share its secrets with the barbarians of the north. Without the cultural exchange that happened in our timeline, human progress outside of Egypt slows. The world is stable, but it's divided by a wall of stone and gold that no one can climb. I'm realizing something crucial. History needed that canal to wait. The world needed time to develop different cultures and competing ideas. If Egypt had become the center of everything in 600 BC, the natural growth of humanity might have been smothered. It might have been smothered by a single, all-powerful monopoly. I'm realizing something crucial. History needed Egypt to fall. The Persian and Greek conquests were brutal, but they forced Egyptian wisdom to flow into the rest of the world. Without that shattering of the old world, the modern age we know might never have been born. As I stand at the mouth of the canal, watching ships from across the known world pay tribute to the pharaoh, I see a world that is incredibly rich but dangerously fragile. It's a reminder that the shortest path to progress isn't always the safest. As I stand in this timeline of an eternal Egypt, I see a civilization that is magnificent but lonely. It's a world that refused to die, but in doing so, it stopped the rest of humanity from growing. Sometimes a civilization has to lose its independence for its legacy to become immortal. This timeline shows me that even our most sacred values can become a cage if we aren't willing to adapt. Thank you for watching, and follow for more.